Hello, 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 wonderful people. It is Tuesday, Coffee Buzz. I just read your comment as I was going live. I think, right? What is today? Now you've got me. Yeah, because we streamed. It feels like Wednesday because I streamed Sunday, Monday, and now Tuesday. Hey, how's it going, everyone? Gently tap that like button as you are coming into the stream. It would be very appreciated. Can you guys hear me? Yes, perfect. Hey, Aaron, how are you? I'm here in raining Stanwood. Pouring out today. It's pouring out today. Nice. It is sunny here in South Florida. But good evening or good afternoon to you, and good evening to you, Claire, from the UK. How's it going? This should. Why is it not showing your guys' comments? There it is. Here's Joyce's comment coming in on the screen. Hi, how's it going? Hello, Joyce. This is going to be, okay, I have to just say this first and up front, I should say. This is going to be a very different stream than normal, okay? I love this daily streaming. The reason why I say this is going to be slightly different is, you know, the last couple live streams have been very difficult. I mean, the subject matter is tough when you're talking about little girls being missing, right? We've got Summer Wells. We've obviously been covering that story for a while now. And then, of course, the Harmony Montgomery story, which is still, obviously, both of those are ongoing. But those can be tough to dive into every single day, day in and day out. And I have to be honest, I'm not always caught up on everything, especially with the Summer Wells case, because there's just so much that comes out around that case on a daily basis. There's so many people creating content, interviewing people. The list goes on with new information every day. So it can be hard to follow. So we're going to take a step back from that, and we're going to go into kind of a story that took off on my channel. You're going to see two of me here. This is a video that I posted at the beginning of December 7th. So the end of the first week of December. And if you see here, we've got 312,000 views on this video, which for me, that's a lot of views. This video took off. It's been out, a couple months now, 2 months. December to January. It's just past January. This video's only been out like a month. Wow. Just over a month. And so, yeah, that's quite a few views for me. And it took off. And so it has sparked a lot of controversy around the story. I mean, I'm very, new to this. I was new to this story when I first covered it. And like many old cases, this is a story from back in 2014, is when Kenny Veach went missing. Obviously, that is already a relatively old story. So there's so many other people on YouTube at that point of me posting this that had already covered so much of it. So there, of course, were some comments that were like, "You don't know anything about this case yet," and it's like, well, I don't, because I just started covering it. But either way, I'm excited to talk to you guys about it. I'm going to ask the question here. Which thanks everyone for being here. I'm about to list some of the names that are in the chat here, but I want to put up a poll just asking, of the 53 people that are in here right now, are you familiar with the Kenny Veach story? I'm probably going to play a little bit of my video here in just a moment to catch some of you up to speed, for those of you who are not familiar, but I'm just curious. So as you're joining, definitely vote on if you are familiar with the case. Hopefully some of the people that followed me because of this story are in the live stream today. Raindrops, Cheryl, hey, how's it going? Alicia, hope your day's going well. Yes, Raindrops, above the trees, Coffee Buzz. Hello, my fellow Washington people. Are there more Washington? I guess, yeah, Coffee Buzz. And it looks like Janine is in Washington. Miss Wee Lassie in the chat. Beer God's in here again. Hello. Maggie May from somewhere in Iowa. Very nice. Nella, of course, in the chat again. Hello, Nella. Monica, present. Rebecca, hey, Aaron, how are you? Oh, yeah, it's raining in Stanwood. So another fellow Washington viewer from Washington. Nella says 16.5K subs. Are we at 16.5K now? We just crossed 16,000. That is crazy. I feel like we just crossed 16,000. Oh, I was introduced to this case by you. That's very cool. At least we know the areas that YouTubers search for Kenny. I found you during Brian Laundrie. They say he is still alive. Yeah, so some of you are still obviously here from the very beginning when I started covering the Brian Laundrie case, which I appreciate you guys still being here along for the ride. I think what I'm going to do is play the first several minutes of this Kenny Veach video that I made way back. It feels like a long time ago, but just back in December. And so I'm going to mute myself now and play that video. I, of course, will be checking out your guys' comments in the chat. But this is going to be for the, looks like 24% of you that are not familiar with this story. I feel like it only makes sense for me to move on and continue talking about this story if you guys are caught up to speed. So without further ado, let's take my current camera off, and we're going to play the video that I posted in December. And for the people that have already seen these, I'm sorry. I did see that, who was it? That was Cheryl said she's catching up with my previous videos about the case. So some of you have seen these. Some of you have been looking at them in preparation for today's stream. But we're going to watch this one together now. What's going on, YouTube? Aaron here. And in today's video, we are going to be diving into the story of Kenny Veach. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Kenny was 47 years old when he went missing in November of 2014 in the Mojave Desert near Nevada, specifically near the Nellis Air Force Base. And his story begins, or at least this part of his story begins, when he left this comment on a video titled Son of an Area 51 Technician. I'm not sure what that video goes into specifically, but this comment that he left raised a lot of eyebrows and got a lot of people's attention. In the comment, he mentions that he's a long-distance hiker, and on one of his hikes near the Nellis Air Force Base, he found a hidden cave that was shaped like a perfect capital M, the letter M. He mentions that he usually goes into every single cave that he finds, but as he began to enter this particular cave, his whole body began to vibrate.
And something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in there right now.
Obviously, this comment sparked a lot of attention, and a lot of people ended up commenting back to him, letting him know that he should go to the cave again and this time document his journey and post to his YouTube channel. And that's exactly what he did next. So on October 18th, he posted this video. It's a 21-minute video of him in the area that he was at when he found the M-shaped cave, and he is searching for the letter M cave in this video. So we'll play a little bit of this video here, and then we'll go in and try to map out kind of where he was at when he recorded it.
And I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not going to go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday. And I talked to some people on YouTube, and I told them, hey, I'm coming out here, you know, because they kind of called my hand on it. So I don't know if there's going to be anything to it, but it might be interesting. If I can find it, I got to relocate it, and this is a big mountain range I'm in.
He does mention that it is a large mountain range, and it got me thinking, let's try to find where he's at. He mentions later on in the video that the mountain range that you see in the background here is the Charleston Mountain Range. And advertisement. Okay, so if you're just tuning into the stream, we are watching one of my previous videos, and we're just now getting into the map time. We've got some new custom emojis we are looking into it a little bit. See, I'm just, it looks like I can use these. If something crazy happens, we can use this one here. These are cool. So YouTube approved these. I've been waiting to see when these emojis would be approved. But anyways, back to it. So yeah, if you're just joining, we're watching my video to catch the 24% of people who voted no on being familiar with this story, catch them up to speed, and then we'll talk about it together. So anyways, back to the video. Pinpointed, I think, where he's at in the video. So obviously you can see I can't get down at the exact angle that he's at, but I believe when he filmed this video, he's somewhere in this kind of open, flat clearing, this valley. He mentions that his car was parked out here, way back beyond where he's at. And if you actually look at the mountain range behind him here, I believe that this is kind of what we're looking at. So the biggest area that stuck out to me was these notches right here. So obviously this little notch right here, I believe, is this notch right here. And then you can kind of see this little area where it scoops down over on the right. I think that is that area right there on the mountain. Whoa, we're kind of shooting all over the place. Let me scoot forward. There. I believe that is right there. And then there's that notch there. And then if you look over this direction, you can even see, I feel like this is kind of the area that he's talking about. This would be the area that he's looking down right now. And then he talks about in the video having to go over this set of mountains and then along the edge to then find the M letter shape cave. And then he even mentions having to go back out into the flat part of the desert to get back to his car way over here, which would make sense because you can see that this is where he would have probably parked on this road and then had to hike up into this clearing to start the video. And even these mountains look to line up with these mountains here. And even this out here, you can see kind of this white kind of washed out flat area. It appears to be this area right here on the map. So I think that's where he's at. And specifically on the map, that would be just to the north of Las Vegas. And then here's the Charleston Peak that he's talking about in the video off to the right. So we'd have to look at this angle in this direction to find this spot. So I think that's where he's at in the video. Of course, he goes on to look for the cave in this video. It's a 21-minute video. I can leave it linked down below, but he does not end up finding the cave in this video. He obviously still posted this on his channel. That's what we're seeing now. Upon posting it, though, he was met with a bit of criticism. People were skeptical that his initial comment talking about the discovery of this cave was false. Some people still believed that he was telling the truth and encouraged him to go back and look for a second time. But one comment on this video stood out, and in hindsight is a little bit eerie, and this is the comment. The comment read, "No, do not go back there. If you find that cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." Now, obviously, this person may have just been referring to the danger that is in that area. Specifically, this is one of the caves or one of the mines that even Kenny was near at the beginning of his video. This is another YouTuber that went looking for Kenny based on his video. And he came across some of these mines. And obviously, Kenny was out there looking by himself. And that person may have just been warning him because it is dangerous to go looking around these mines and these caves by yourself. Of course, you can fall in. And if you break your leg out there, you're in a load of trouble. So that may have been what they were referring to. But either way, it was a little bit eerie that someone left that comment because Kenny did eventually go back out and hunt for the cave for a second time, but he was never found. He was reported missing on November 14th, 2014, just 3 weeks after that initial post. where he was looking for the cave. So not long after he was reported missing, did they actually find his cell phone near an abandoned mine shaft. A lot of people think that it is the mine shaft that we saw at the beginning of his first video, where he's trying to retrace his steps to find the cave. Some people retraced his steps as well. This is a YouTuber who went out and actually found that same mine shaft in the beginning of his video. You can see it here next to him. I think that that's probably where they ended up finding his cell phone. But either way, it did not lead to an actual discovery of his body. As we know, he is still missing. The most popular conspiracy theory is that Kenny saw government secrets within the cave and was kidnapped by U.S. soldiers when he emerged. Obviously, that's a bit of a stretch. Some people think that Kenny was interested in the occult and it led him to the cave where he eventually disappeared. Regardless of the theories, I think one of the most interesting things that stands out to me is the fact that in Kenny's video, he mentions that, maybe his sixth sense was working and there could have been maybe a mountain lion or something in the cave. So that would lead me to believe that the cave was deep enough to have something in it. And this YouTuber here believes that they found the M cave that Kenny... Okay, real quick, little bit of a pause in my own video. I'm going to address a couple comments coming through. First of all, I just want to say thank you to Raindrops, who is the first supporter of the channel. Not the first person to support the channel, the first active supporter. I just got all of that approved and everything for people who want to support the channel further and unlock things like emotes and things like that in the chat. So thanks. Big shout out to Raindrops. Uncle Jay in the chat asking about this story. Isn't this a 20-year-old story? What is there new to recap? Let's see. Enjoy the story if you have not heard it 100 times in 20 years. So just to fill you in, Uncle Jay, it's an 8-year-old story. Almost half of those 20 years that you are thinking that it is. It is an old story. I'm not claiming this as new information. There's no new information here to report on. I have been asked by the 1,200 people that have followed me since posting this video. So I talked about this at the beginning. I posted this video on December 7th. It's gotten over 300,000 views. And YouTube shows you how many people subscribe to you based on certain videos. And I thought, and several people have reached out to me wanting me to do a live stream to cover this story. And of course, none of the 1,200 people are in here. We only have 125 people watching right now. I thought it was going to be a bigger live stream where a bunch of people would join and we could go back and forth. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Uncle Jay, I just wanted to do this live stream to talk to some of you guys who have your theories. Now, speaking of the theories, Rich Life of Travels is in here, and he is saying that he was abducted by aliens. So I'm going to be opening up the phone lines here soon. And if there's anyone that wants to chat about their theories of what happened to Kenny, I would love for you to call in. It's a completely anonymous number. It doesn't show up on the stream. Ruby Firefly says, Fire Lily says, have you seen the video another YouTuber did talking about speculations of Kenny possibly going on the run? We're going to get to that in a moment because we do have some footage to show. I'm going to let let's see. Nah, I'm not going to let the rest of this video play out. I basically go into, there's another YouTuber that went up into this little cave that he claimed maybe was the M-shaped cave. And I also have had some comments come through saying that this military Area 51 sign that he found was just one that you can buy on Amazon. So there's so many different things with this story that are just kind of all over the place. But I wanted to play a little bit just to give some people some context for the 30% almost of people that are in here that are not familiar with the story. So I say the same thing. Aliens, interesting. So some people really think that. I'm so interested to hear some of these stories. They tell him to call his girlfriend. Oh, then tell him to call his girlfriend. Speaking of his girlfriend, okay, we're going to get into the next part of the story. So I made a part 2 of the Kenny Veach story. I've linked all 3 of my Kenny Veach videos down below if you'd like to put them into tabs or watch them after. I go into whether or not Kenny Veach was close to any military bases or military land when filming and looking for this M-shaped cave. I also go over in my second video, my part 2 video, the link or the comment that is left on Kenny's YouTube channel, Snake Bit McGee, by Sharon Pilgrim, which is this account that I'm showing here. And she claimed to have been, she claims to be the girlfriend that Kenny is referring to in his video. And she goes on to say that she believes that he committed suicide, and gives her reasons why. I can, of course, show that video later if it's something that you guys really, really want to see. But let's go ahead and watch. So there's a couple, it's not new developments, but just for the people who now are kind of have the story in their heads, I want to show this clip. This clip premiered on November 28th, 2021, very recently, and it was posted by Sharon Pilgrim, the supposed girlfriend of Kenny Veach. She posted this on her channel. Apparently, this is the video that Kenny made when he got back to his car. He had mentioned having a big cooler full of beers waiting for him. This is the video that she posted. Let's see. Now you work with Kenny? What are you talking about? I am very interested in what some of you guys have to think about this case. So anyways, let's watch a little bit of this video here, and then we're going to talk about kind of one of the main theories that people have about Kenny possibly being alive. So we'll see. So he just says, I made it a point to drink very little water. I don't know if we got to that part of my video, but Kenny is the type of person, and he's made the comments before in his videos, that he likes to push himself to the limit, push his body to the limit, take little resources, or at the very least use very few resources on some of these big desert hikes in order to kind of see where his limit is. So he claims to have only drank like 30 ounces of water on this hike, and we're talking about like 10 to 12 hours potentially out in the desert. He's struggling to even drink this beer right now. But yeah, let's keep listening.
I only drink.
Hello, Corinna.
Probably less than 30 ounces of water. And it was one heck of a hike. It was hot. Whew.
He is struggling.
I can't swallow. Oh. That freaking wiped me out, man. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, a lot of you are commenting, H2O is much better. Not a good idea to hike in the desert and only drink beers. So this is Kenny just drinking a celebratory beer for making it back to the car. And as you can see, he can't even drink this beer. He does eventually get his water out. So look, he caps the beer.
That's never happened before.
He's like, that's never happened.
Oh, shit.
He does have water. They look frozen, but he has a little bit.
Damn it.
So yeah, he goes on to drink from his little, I don't know, Camelback, I guess. Jasmine says, I react like that to Budweiser as well. But I just thought this was interesting that this was a previously not a video that was public, that this person who was supposedly his girlfriend ended up posting. Now, there's some speculation that the girl who commented on his channel, Snake Bit McGee, isn't actually his girlfriend. People say, anyone with an internet connection can just claim to be someone's girlfriend. That could not be her. But then again, she's now posting clips of him, exclusive clips of him, that no one else has. And so it leads me to believe that this is actually probably her. This is the comment that she left on his video. And like I said, I go into this in my second video, but she believes or claims in this that Kenny killed himself. He battled depression for many years, starting to lose his house, lose money, all these things. She also posted this video of him just with a rattlesnake that they came across, which is, it kind of goes to show the fearlessness that Kenny had. Yeah, I mean, he clearly knew kind of what he was doing with like wrangling snakes. Like, I don't know how this all works, but those are a couple videos that I figured I'd share that she posted on her channel. Now, part of the reason, let me read some of these comments coming through, and then I'll get to why I really wanted to do this stream. Also, for those of you who are unaware, this video of him that I just showed on the back of the car is after his hike. He was back at his car. He was done with his hike at that point. He went missing shortly after that, when he claimed to have gone back out to search for the M-shaped cave. Some people are saying there's no way he would have dropped his phone, all of these different things. We have some... Nella said, sorry, was this the last video of him? I believe so. So if you actually go to his YouTube channel, the M Cave hike video that he posted that we just watched, that was posted along with these 3 videos on the same day, October 18th, 2014. So as you can see here, October 18th, 2014. All 3 of these videos were also posted. So I don't know what day he went out to look for the M-shaped cave, but these videos were also posted. He had some Shark Tank submissions, the TV show Shark Tank. So anyways, let's get to my comments. Okay, so giving you a little inside look on, let me refresh this. Yeah, so we have a new comment from 26 minutes ago. These are just the comments, some of the ones that I haven't even seen from this this video that I said has now 300,000 plus views on my channel. Let's just read through a few of these, because this is why I wanted to do this live stream. And I'm about to open up the phone lines. This is like I said, a much more casual stream than the last few. We're not talking about look, it's not as heavy of subject matter. We've been talking about little girls going missing. And while, yeah, someone went missing here and it is still a tragic story, it doesn't feel like it has as much weight to it. So it's a little bit more low key. Hey, Mimi, how's it going? Good to see you in here. So let's read through some of these. Great video. Very eerie feeling when I saw the mine shaft. Okay, maybe he was kidnapped, says this person. The U.S. government doesn't refer to that base as Area 51. I find the sign to be highly suspect. So a lot of people were talking about the sign potentially being a fake sign at the end of the video. So this person thinks that he is out there still somewhere laughing. Bigfoot is in the cave. You can see him there. So these are the kinds of comments that I get on these. And I think that some of these are very troll comments that are being left. But let me read. So, oh my gosh, they killed Kenny. That's a South Park reference. So let's just keep looking through. Vibrations are energy. He took a gun to shoot energy. Sounds like a bright dude. He probably got lost. A team of 8 should seek him out before he ends up in an ET test tube. How can he post a video and disappear out there? Don't you need Wi-Fi to upload a video? Okay, so he didn't post the video, and he posted the video after he got home and then went missing the next time he went out there. Let's see. Sound waves, radiation. Yeah, this person's very logical. Let's romanticize this. He did a dangerous thing and he's gone. It happens especially in southern Nevada. So they're coming at it from a very logical approach. Sounds like a building just fell over outside. I don't know if you guys heard that. Sounds like a scam for views. Oh my gosh, I disappeared. If the government had a secret cave, it wouldn't be on public land. The story is not real. If the TV show, the story is just created with actor. I don't know what they're saying. So what are your guys' thoughts? I'm curious. He later actually was seen, and we haven't gone over this yet. Some people think that he was seen breaking into a holistic kind of healing type place in Las Vegas in 2018. So a lot of people commented this on my video and wanted me to look into this. So let's do that.
Hey, take a look here at this video. You can see the burglar makes his way in and out of the store right near Sahara and Jones in less than a minute. And as 13 Action News reporter Brian Callahan explains, it is what happened after that caught the owner's attention.
Deep down, Debbie Veach just wants the man who broke into her Enchanted Forest Reiki Center to be caught, analyzing the security video for any clue to his identity.
You blow up the image, the grainier the face gets.
But it's what happens after the burglar smashed the window with the crowbar, grabbed an iPad, and left that caught her attention.
It's not when he opens up the blinds either and leaves. He's already been gone, for a little bit.
What do you think it was? Veach knows the logical explanation is the break-in stirred up dust that was picked up by the camera.
It seems to me if it was dust, that would have shown immediately.
But says being a spiritual person, part of her wants to believe those specks are something else.
All of a sudden, these, what I feel are very spiritual orbs that came in after he left, getting the bad juju out.
In the end, she says the best sign would be the video helping police capture the burglar. Brian Callahan, 13 Action News.
Okay, so the one thing about that stood out is that the owner of the store's last name was Veach. So it is a family member. Some people believe that it looks like Kenny. So if I go back through the video, we can pause it. I don't think he looks like him right up here. He kind of looks like the same height. Kenny doesn't look like he'd be tremendously tall. The thing about it, though, is the hairline. Now, if I pause the video, it's so grainy. Like right there, I don't know if you guys can see, he actually kind of looks like Kenny Veach. Go back to the hairline. Where is it? Oh, he's got a hat on there. Wonderful. Snakebit McGee. Yeah, here we go. He's got kind of a, naturally kind of receding hairline, or naturally, but just a little bit of a receding hairline there. And you kind of see that here as well, that little bit of a patch there. You can see it right there as well. It's weird that he broke into this like holistic, what is it called again? I have it here on the maps. An Enchanted Forest, and just stole an iPad. I guess unless some of that stuff could be valuable. I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure it is to the people that enjoy that stuff, but it's weird that you would break in there unless you knew that there was valuable stuff in there. And so for him just to take an iPad, I think is a little strange. But anyways, let me read the chat because I'm seeing some people. I see some people, some old names and some new names. I think Holly is in the chat and said, my dad actually knew somebody that went over to Saudi Arabia, went jogging in that heat. When he went to lay down, he never woke up. Ooh, interesting. The Sludgehammer 801 says, I'll be going to the M Cave hike in about a week. So that's interesting. I'd love for you to call in a moment when we open up the phone lines. I have an account with All Trails. And if we actually zoom in north of Las Vegas and you go to the area that Kenny was at, which is in this little area, this is where he was at the beginning of his video right here. This is where the mine shaft was at. This is that area that he refers to, the little agave pit off to it would be the, I guess, east or west rather. This site actually has Kenny Veach hiking path. It's probably very hard to see for you guys listed. So it shows where his hiking path is. So it's not an actual listed trail, but someone was able to add it in on the website All Trails. So if you are going to go hike along the mountain face and look for the M-shaped cave, this is apparently the route. And then this is where he would have spit out into the big clearing over here and then walked, I would assume, all the way back down to where his car was at, depending on when he went in. So let's just open up the lines. This is going to be a relatively short stream like some of my others. I saw someone else commenting about some people in the chat today. Now, I think that this stream has likely attracted a few people that aren't normally in the chat, and we welcome everyone, but I am curious as to what some of the people in here think about this story that followed me specifically because of these videos that I made. Now, there's some controversial kind of ideas around this of what happened to Kenny, so we'll listen to anyone and everyone who wants to call in. I'm going to open up the lines right now. Alicia will also post, and I will pin her comment, but she's going to post the number, and I will also post it. Feel free to call in. I have a feeling no one's going to actually call in. I feel like the people that maybe are trolling in the chat who think that they have an idea of what actually happened to them or are so sure of themselves, they might not call in, but it would be cool if you called in. I'd love to hear. This is the phone line. Alicia just put it in the chat. I'm going to pin it above. I'm going to close out this poll. It is 305-985-2690. Feel free to call in. Let's chat. Yeah. Until then, let's read some comments until the first person is brave enough to call in, especially the people. I'm asking people to call in that really have an opinion on this. I know some of you are joining to just kind of hear and learn more about the case. And to the people that are in most of my live streams, I apologize. This isn't a normal stream. But sometimes we have to take a break from some of the other stories. How much are you going to pay me, Aaron? I want $259. I will pay you nothing. But feel free to call in still. Also, someone's about to be the 100th like on the stream. Let's get the stream to 100 likes, everyone. Also, my hair is going nuts today. Crazy hair. 220 people in here. We just hit 100 likes. Thanks, everyone. Let's get to 200 likes. Panda B, we love you, Aaron. Thank you so much. Alicia, I will pay you nothing. Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm out, so I can't call today. That's okay. No one is going to call in, huh? Let's listen into this guy while we wait for the first caller. This is another YouTuber that posted recently talking about the story. Also, I saw someone's comment saying, why is this story all of a sudden getting so much traction? It's such an old case. It's such an old story. It feels like a lot of people on YouTube have been getting recommended videos on Kenny Veach. So it is interesting. Let's listen in. Oh, we've got our first caller.
Call from
Raindrops.
It's Raindrops.
to accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press
Raindrops, how's it going?
Hey, Aaron. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm getting over a cold, so my voice is all crazy right now.
Oh, all good. Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody wrote, and I should have wrote down the name, but maybe she'll pop in. She asked where his car left. That video that you showed, that was supposedly the last time he was on video, but that doesn't mean that he went missing right then and there.
Yeah.
But where was his vehicle? Did they ever, like, all his belongings, where he lived, was anything removed or, packed up or anything?
They found, and I should have done a better job of introing the story, but they did find his vehicle, and they found his phone next to the mine shaft that he was at in the beginning of his video. So, I don't know. A lot of people are speculating that if he did end up ending his life, he left his phone there to throw people off and so they wouldn't be able to track him down, essentially. But one thing that was interesting, if he was going back out there a second time to look for the cave, they did report that his camera was at home, so he didn't have his camera with him. So that was odd, that if he did go back out there in an effort to film and search for the cave, why wouldn't he have his camera? So I don't know if that supports more of the story of him going out there to end his life or not, but yeah, they did find his car. I'm not entirely sure where that would have been in the mountain range.
Okay, that's what I was curious too about. All right, that was a really good question, I thought. And you did the poll, I'm familiar, just because I seen it one video one time.
Yeah,
and then you came on with it. Yeah, then so I'm just familiar, but I don't know all the ins and outs,
Yeah.
But I appreciate you.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, thanks for calling in. Appreciate it.
All right.
All right. See ya. Bye. Raindrops in the call. Thank you for calling. What's the new update, or are you just saying the same stuff we already know? Justin, there's a little button on the top. It should be on the top, maybe right of your screen if you're on a Windows computer, and the top left if you're on a Mac. It's a little red button on a Mac. It's the exit button. It turns red when you highlight it on a Windows computer. You can go ahead and exit out of this. It sounds like you know everything about this case already, so I'll just point you to the exit button. But thanks for dropping by. Some people are unaware of the case. Also, you don't necessarily have to have breaking information just to talk about something. So feel free to go to another video. But thanks for dropping by. This is a very casual stream, you guys. We're just going over this story. Let's play this video while we wait for another call. Feel free to call in. It is pinned at the top of the chat. Thanks to Raindrops for being the first caller.
I keep getting all these Kenny Veach video recommendations lately, and it's finally caught my attention. So I've started to piece it together. I found the location on the map where that mine shaft is, and I figured out his hike up there over Wild Horse Pass and down through Picture Canyon. It actually turns out that somebody's added his full route onto OpenStreetMaps. You can see it there if you want to check it out. But as for his disappearance, that was a different hike. And I'm just going by what his girlfriend commented there on the video, if that's the actual truth, how he left his phone behind at that mine shaft because he didn't want to be tracked. And he was all set up with overnight camping gear, so he could be a day away from that or weeks. It's either a small area or a really large area that you should be looking. But my guess is that he's not all that far away from that mine shaft, that he probably hiked higher up into the mountains there near Sheep Peak. There's just a lot of ridge lines and valleys through there, a lot of places to hide, a lot of caves and things. But I think if I went up there for a couple days and brought the drone, then I'd have a pretty good chance of seeing a lot of areas that other people haven't looked yet. But it kind of begs the question, he went out there, he didn't want to be found apparently, so should we actually be looking for him? Should we just let him rest in peace? But I think a lot of people just want some closure on the mystery, and if I'm not looking for him, there's going to be other people out there looking for him, so it's probably going to happen. But
So yeah, there are definitely people that want to figure out how long or where he ended up, right? Sorry, I'm reading chat while I'm talking. Cheryl, Aaron, how long was he out there before going missing? So I think not long. I think, let's see if we can find his official missing persons report. Mimi, Aaron, you're awesome. Thank you. I don't think he was out there long. So this story is an old story. He went missing on November 14th, or I guess missing since November 10th, 2014. So this video, the M-Cave video that he posted on his channel was, like I said at the beginning, or towards the beginning of the stream, from October 18th. So somewhere between October 18th and November 10th, he went missing. That's when he would have gone out there a second time and then ended up going missing. So as we know, this is the video. He ends up not finding it, obviously, in this first video. So yeah, somewhere between the 18th and then the following month on the 10th. So not very long. Corinna, Raindrops, you did wonderful and you have a very nice voice. Yes, Raindrops has a wonderful voice. If you guys are nervous for calling in, don't feel like you have to call in. I'm just opening up the lines, especially to the people who, like I said at the beginning of this, it's just a controversial topic. And I feel like with a case like this, it's a little bit different. When you've got all these wild theories, people get very passionate about their theories and about their ideas of what happened. And so I think it's, I think it's just interesting to kind of talk and hear from people of what they really think. Because the people that say he was, what was one comment that went by earlier? It was by a username that I wasn't going to repeat just for the sake of not cursing on the, it's fine. But they said something, what did they say? Wow, the chat's gone by much faster than, I'm going with a theory that he found a portal. Sounds good enough to me. That's the type of person I want to call. Maybe this is them right now. I'm curious about some of these theories.
Call from
Holly.
We got Holly in the chat.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Hey, Holly, how's it going?
Good. How are you, Aaron?
Doing well. Thanks for calling.
You're welcome. So, in my comments, I'm not sure where you've gotten because I was a little bit behind, but there was in that chat room, somebody had left a Google Earth coordinate in there for an M shape that was on the desert.
Oh, okay.
So it was,
Could you see it from like Google Earth views, you're saying?
Well, I'm thinking that's what he was referring to, because if he was looking at a map from that direction, then those coordinates would have been what you would have looked at, like a rock formation on the ground or something. Kind of like I'd noticed on Gabby's thing when you looked at the drone view of the cross and the little arrow that was done there pointing. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
But that was my guess, but I haven't looked it up yet. But I took a screenshot of it and figured it was just easier to call and tell you the coordinates.
Yeah. Do you have them right now? I can look into it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. It's 36, degrees, 34, and then it's kind of hard to read because of the pixelation of it.
I think I'm actually seeing it right here. I just pulled something up. I don't know if it's the same thing.
Zombie Cartman, I guess, or whatever that says.
Let's see. 36, 33, 45, 0 north, 115, 18, 51, 0 west?
Nope, it's 36, 30, but close.
Okay.
36, 34, 2.79 north. Okay. And then 115, what is that, 18.6, I think, or 18.8, and then 60 west.
Okay.
If you can put on all the little, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah. Let's
degrees and.
Yeah, I'll look into it. Yeah, I'm gonna pull this up here. Yeah, I've got a screenshot. I'll put the screenshot up. For some reason, it's not pulling up, but I'll put this over on the screen for people. This may not be the one exactly that you're looking at, but when I was looking it up while you were chatting, I found this one, so I'll put yours in.
You can probably copy and paste it if it doesn't want to actually come up from the. He was in the chat room on the ones that you were just reading off.
Oh, cool.
It was, what did I say? It was Zombie. Hang on. What was the guy's chat room name? Zombie Cartman or something.
Okay, sweet. I'll look for it. And then.
But what was so odd about this was the reason why I knew about this actually just a little while before you did. Remember, I think when you first said something about him, I'd come in and said, wow, that's weird. I just literally watched his Mineshaft video. And that had come from me doing the occult research on Brian Laundrie out that way and just looking at the different caves. So that's what it prompted up into my thing. And all of a sudden I found out he's missing. I was like, oh, that was weird. So anyways, but that was the deal with that.
Yeah. So that sparked a whole rabbit hole for you there, I'm sure. But interesting.
No way, not me, Aaron.
No, not a rabbit hole?
Yes, of course, it's all a rabbit hole.
It's all one big rabbit hole.
Connected. But I still think we should do another one, too, on Robert Lowry and find out, because he was shot with a 9mm. And then I heard one of the comments, somebody who knew what they were talking about, said he might have checked hunting rifles. I'm like, well, you don't shoot yourself with hunting rifles, and a 9mm isn't when you take hunting. So I'm still thinking serial killer. And then the Delphi girls, I found out a lot of sick stuff on that is definitely a serial killer, including all the dolls and teddy bears. And, like, yeah, there's some stuff going on with that. So
Yeah, I've just been, like, watching stuff on the Delphi thing. I haven't covered anything there. That one's one that it's not like there's too much. I feel like there's more in the Summer Wells thing just to try to keep up with, but I haven't really gone into the Delphi thing, but yeah. Interesting. All right.
I'm still not ruling out that they're all not technically linked, but you know me, so I'm kind of keeping a peripheral on the possible linkage going on. But all I got to say is Lori Vallow Ramsey. That's all that keeps me linked is Lori Vallow Ramsey. I'm like, yeah, this stuff doesn't go away. So, but yeah, it'd be interesting to find out, you know, what the ground looks like.
The ground where?
On that, that where the guy was talking about the coordinates.
Yeah, I'm looking for those again. I'll try to find like something where I can copy and paste them here because it's not coming up. But yeah, I'll definitely look into that a bit more.
Yeah, that'll be cool. So thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks for calling, Holly. See ya.
You're welcome. Good afternoon.
Right, bye. Holly Southern Style. Holly has been a follower of the channel for a while. She always has some hot takes, but also you got to think about everything when it comes to some of these cases. And so Holly, she's out there thinking maybe some of these things are all linked together. There could be something bigger going on here. So I appreciate when Holly joins the chat and when she calls in as well. Oh, we're getting calls rolling in left and right now.
Call from
G Mama.
G Mama in the
to
chat.
accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Aaron? I love your show.
Oh, thanks so much.
I'm happy I got through.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for calling.
Yeah. Okay, so when you mentioned like the whole like that's funny somebody said portals thing, you know, that wasn't me. But
that's okay.
It's funny somebody said that because it just reminds me of like, you know, the total desert West Coast, you know, you know, new wave hippies, you know.
Right.
So that's something that kind of made me think about that when I heard about how his cell phone was left and everything. Kind of reminded me of the Bhagwan cult and how people would just like leave everything and like start a new life kind of situation. So I don't know, just kind of reminded me of that. You know what I'm talking about, the Bhagwan documentary on Netflix?
No, is it the Rajneesh? Is it?
Yes,
Okay,
that's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know much about it, but do they do something similar?
So that documentary is so trippy. You have to watch it.
Okay.
And it totally ties in with Tiger King 3, by the way.
Oh, really?
Because the guy from Myrtle Beach was like a big follower of the whole Bhagwan like cult following, you know.
Is this Wild Country on Netflix?
Yes, Wild Wild Country, correct.
Okay.
So I wonder, because people were saying how he had like, you know, he wasn't happy. I wonder sometimes, because there are still like cults out there, you know, and
yeah,
I would definitely say more so on the West Coast than the East Coast, because I lived out west. I lived in Arizona for like 5 years, so.
Oh, nice.
I lived in Phoenix, Tempe, and Sedona.
Oh, cool.
So I moved around. Yeah,
I was out in Phoenix in August. It was very warm.
Yes. Yeah. I love the desert, and I totally connect to Kenny. So this story has really just grabbed my attention, and I like the whole, when he's saying he's going into the cave and he starts to feel all this energy, you know.
Yeah.
Like the first thing that came to mind was like, I mean, I know this is crazy, but I'm like, aliens.
Yeah.
I'm like, what if he was abducted, you know?
Phoenix Lights. You were in Phoenix, right? I mean, there's so many.
Yes, I wasn't there during the Phoenix Lights,
right, okay,
but yes, I know all about, you know, just how weird it is out there in the desert, you know. And,
yeah.
There is definitely strange energy. I mean, there's just so many, but really, like, realistically, one thing that I think about too is the video that he like pushed himself so hard to, by the time he got to his truck, he could not, he could barely breathe. He could barely drink that beer, you know, it was hurting him so bad. Sometimes I wonder, dang, did he go out there thinking that he was going to do this adventure, this journey, this hike, and he just went out with not enough and ended up getting lost off the beaten path, and then unfortunately he dehydrated, passed out, nobody ever found him, and then what wildlife can eat you out there?
Right.
I would just think vultures and ravens, right? I mean, they'll eat your body off till there's just bone, right?
And then everything's scattered at that point, because I know so many people are like, well, they should be able to find his, you know, his remains, even if it's just very little. It's like they would be picked over and all over the mountains. Like, it's not like they would all just be in one spot. It's like morbid to talk about, but it's like, it's brutal.
Right. Bones. That's what I was thinking. Like, why they haven't found any bones? And then the other question I was thinking is, when they did the search, like, how much did they actually cover? You know, because I wonder, like, did he really get lost? You know.
Right. Yeah. I'm so curious. I haven't been able to find anything on like which area they really covered. Like, did they just cover kind of the area that he was supposedly hiking in, or did they go multiple like
how many miles
around?
Did they go out? Right. Because I mean, you could really get lost in the desert easily, dude. I've done it, and it's pretty scary, you know what I mean?
For sure,
you have to it's super scary, because especially when you're a trailblazer like he was, where you don't stay on a trail, you just go for it, you know.
That's
so okay, well, thank you, that's all I wanted to say. But the whole Bhagwan thing makes me wonder, you know, it really does.
It's
like,
interesting.
wow, did he that's so weird, right? That he left everything behind. And then I don't know about the guy in the store. That guy kind of looks too young. One thing I wanted to say too, the guy ran in for the laptop. This is another thing. A lot of like criminals and like thieves out there, they're not conscious to how expensive crystals are. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I'm saying, like, I bet there was 2 things he could have picked up that were of value or equal to that iPad, you know? So but
I mean, because, like, I know I got robbed, okay? And I actually live here in Florida, too. What's up, Florida?
Nice.
And, but I got robbed in Florida, and whoever robbed us, they passed all my crystals, you know? And I was blown away. I was so happy they didn't take my crystals, you know, because they're my precious gems, you know. But so I kind of feel like the guy that was robbing was like really just looking for like electronics or, you know, to him what's valuable to him. They just don't know what's really of value in a crystal shop like that, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like some punk kid. But anyways, that's all I got.
All right. Well, thanks so
Aaron,
much for calling.
Thank you for the show. I'm so excited about the Kenny Veach. So thank you so much for answering my call.
Thanks for your input. Yeah, appreciate it.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much. Much love.
Yeah.
Peace.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Very cool call. Very cool call. Sorry, some of the calls, I try to keep them right around 3 to 5 minutes. That one went just over 5 minutes. So did Holly's. But then again, I like chatting with you guys, so it doesn't matter. And it's one of those shows that we're just kind of going with the flow of everything. And speaking going with the flow of everything, there was just a huge flow of new members. I got to read off everybody's supporter status here. Femme Fatale? I don't know. Welcome to the Level 1 supporter group. Thank you so much. If you want to type out how I can say your username correctly, let me know. Kadeth for Peace, it looks like. Kadeth for Peace. Welcome and thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really, really appreciate that. As well as Sanan, welcome. You've been here multiple times. This is not your first stream, but thank you for also supporting the channel. And of course, Corinna. Corinna's also someone who's been around and following the channel for a while. So thank you all for joining and becoming a member. Let's see. Jay Barrett says, I think I saw Jay Barrett say, how does one become a channel member? There's a little join button. I don't know what it's like on mobile. But on PC or on computer, it's just below the video. It says join, and then there's a couple different options there. But all of that, like I've said in past streams, helps out with some of the other projects that I do outside of YouTube. So it's very much appreciated. So thank you to the new channel members. Let's see. It sounds like Femme Fatal. Okay. Thank you. Last called. Thumbs up. Great points. Yeah, it was a good call. Thank you for that call. Kadeth, it's just like Kate. Okay. Also, Cheryl, I'd like to, but I can't. Sorry. If you'll see in my video on the join button, at the very end I mentioned that. None of it is expected. Just like super chats, all that stuff. It's never expected, but it's always appreciated. And so, yeah, just by you being here, hitting that like button, it means a lot. So, Cheryl, seriously, no worries. But yeah, thanks so much for the comment. I just wondered if I had left comments under his original video of any of that. Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if they showed up under his mineshaft. Yeah, I'm confused. So some people are very thrown off by him leaving his phone. I think it was probably an intentional thing. It feels intentional, but at the same time, phones can be lost, right? You can drop your phone. Someone, I can't find the comment, but they said something like, nobody leaves their phone behind. Nobody drops their phone in this day and age because everyone's glued to their phones or whatever. Look, I've dropped my phone and I thought I had it in my pocket that zipped and we were hiking. I quickly realized it because I'm constantly kind of feeling my pockets and whatever. But even I've made the mistake, and I try to be really cautious of, where my stuff is at all times. So it can definitely happen. But the fact that the phone was left on the mine shaft that was, or right near the mine shaft that was in his video, it is a little bit weird. I'm not sure what the mystery is. He told his girlfriend he was going to self-delete and they would never find his body. So, venomized mind. Some people think that. Some people don't. Some people don't believe that's true. Ooh, you know what? We're getting real conspiratorial. I don't know. Conspiratorial is the word. I'm curious, since the last call we talked about aliens, and since this stream is a little more laid back, I'm curious of the 219 people in here. Do you believe in aliens? I'm really curious. This is a fun stream. I'm getting to know my audience a little bit more. At least a few people know how to pronounce my name. French people and older people. Oh, Nice. Anyways, let me know. The new poll is up. And don't be afraid to say exactly how you feel. Look, here's how I feel. I'd love to believe in aliens. I want to believe, right? I want something, like, I want to see something. And I know some people are like, be careful what you wish for. But it's like, no, like when I was in Arizona, just in August, we were out, it was dark, we were on the side of a mountain and we could see all the stars. And I was just like, I just want to see something, like I want to see something big time. Anyways, what a stream. This is a much different stream than what we normally do, but it's fun. So let me read some more of these. The phone lines are still up, by the way, if you would like to call in. But yeah, let's read what some of these comments are saying on my video. Someone says, this is what I think happened. He found the M cave again, entered the M cave whilst filming. As he got deeper into the cave, like he said in the previous vid, his body started to vibrate. He carried on going through the cave, endorsing the vibrations. After his body got penetrated by the vibrations, the atoms in his body couldn't handle the vibrations, and his body exploded like a wine glass. Expose the wine glass near a high frequency, the atoms in the glass get stressed and disoriented and explodes. You don't know what waste the government might have dumped in those mines from previous archaeological UFO findings. Maybe they disturbed a piece of mechanics from a UFO and couldn't stop the vibrations pulsing, so they disposed it in the M cave. This looks like a case of murder and Scully. Lee Maddies, why aren't you in here today? Call in, please. Because look, I respect any opinion, right? I'm curious if this person's being real or not. If they actually think this, like that his body vibrated to the point of explosion. Anyways, Jared Nichols says aliens are demons. And once again, I'm curious, in the most respectful way, I'm curious what you mean by that too. I feel like Aaron is playing on someone's mental illness. In regards to this comment here, or Kenny? Because, look, I have kind of my thoughts about Kenny overall. I like to believe that the girlfriend is telling the truth, and that he potentially went out there to end his own life. I definitely don't want to play on any mental illness that could be at play here by any means. We're just kind of speculating. I'm just curious what the vast majority of people think. If he truly was dealing with that, that's obviously one thing. The Sludgehammer says, Dugway, Utah is more mysterious and secretive than Area 51. One night, some friends and I were out there and watched some incredible things happen in the sky. I went back a few years later and saw more. Interesting. Joe Rogan has a podcast. Maybe someone took and killed him at his car, and that's why he left everything. Lo-Fi Guy says, the existence of alien life is highly likely. Intelligent alien life, less so. Interesting. So you're saying more like microorganisms on other planets and whatnot? Because, yeah, that's probably very, very likely, considering how big the universe is. Jared says, demons are trying to deceive people to believe in aliens. The Antichrist will claim to be from another planet and the savior of the world. Angela, you're at work listening? Shh. Guys, everyone has to be a little bit quiet because Angela's at work. But thanks for being here, Angela. I feel it is something. Panda Bee says, I feel it is something like that too, and some of the mythical creatures sighting can be linked to. Wait, what did Jared? Oh, that's what Jared was saying. My big thing with that is just where is there evidence of someone, these life forms claiming to be the savior of the world? I'm just, anyways, don't want to get into too much, you guys. but I also do. You know what I mean? I just want to know these theories. The thing I want to say about whether there's aliens or not is they're not going to help us figure this out, so we have to do it on our own and leave them to watch. Sanan says, or that Jamaican guy from Pennsylvania. What? Corinna says the poll won't respond to me. 70% of people are saying that they believe aliens are real, though. So that is interesting. Phone lines are still open. I know that this has been kind of a wacky stream. I'm not going to stream for several hours today. This is just going to be kind of a chill one. But I want to thank everyone again for just being here. To the new members, we have 5 new members on the channel. I think they're all tier 1. Tier 2, the tier 2 members, we're going to be doing a once a month members only live stream, which is cool because if there's only like 4 or 5 people, it's just going to be me and 4 or 5 people hanging out. And that's where really we can talk about active and ongoing cases and just like kind of brainstorm together. It'll be much less like a stream, like a formal stream like this, and more of a like, hey, how's it going? Like, let's hang out for an hour. Let's chat. Let's talk about interesting ideas, all of that. So that's part of the tier 2. And I think everyone so far is tier 1, which is amazing. But I was curious because if there's just one tier 2 person, once a month there'll be a live stream that's basically a FaceTime where we just hang out. But yeah, anyways, very nice work. Thank you. If you're just joining, by the way, or if you've joined kind of halfway through this, then yeah, we're not really getting into too much in this. I have linked down below the 2 videos I've talked about, or the 3 videos that I've covered the Kenny Veach story with. But yeah, I can't talk today. Jared Nichols says, I'm a flat earther, so I don't believe in outer space. You can't be serious. Are you serious? That's fine. I don't know if you're like the sweating emoji laughing. I don't know if you were just kind of joking. Let's all hang out. I'll probably upgrade. Yeah, feel free to upgrade at any point. Oh my goodness. Level 2. Upgraded. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Some people suffer from schizophrenic illness. It happens. Get over it. Oh, absolutely. I definitely don't want to deny that. Let's get into this real quick. Thanks so much for upgrading. Peace. Jared, if you would love to call in, feel free to call in. I'm curious as to your thoughts. Paulo says, Aaron, how likely do you think he is hiding? I don't think he is hiding. Then again, I'm not entirely sure.
Call from
S balls.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, thanks for calling. How's it going?
Not too bad, man. I really wasn't going to call in, but you say you want theories like mine, so.
Yeah, absolutely. All theories are welcome, for sure.
If you look back in Native American history, especially out in Arizona, I know a lot about that place. Mm-hmm. Mount Graham is a portal for the Indians. The heavens have opened up many times over Mount Graham and spoke to the Indians, told them what to do, how to lead their lives, and given them many blessings. And if you mess with some of those ancient sites, who knows what'll happen to you.
Mount Graham. Okay, yeah, I'm pulling it up here on the map so we can kind of check out the area while we're chatting. What is, okay, so southwest, or looks like southeast Arizona is Mount Graham. Is that the Mount Graham you're talking about?
Yes.
So this whole area is native land. I know that there's tons of native land in that area of south, kind of central, southeast Arizona.
Yeah, okay. I mean, there was a lady out there that supposedly fell off a cliff face and has never been found. They were camping out there at nighttime. I actually just heard about that within the last year, but it happened, I think, maybe in 2014.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
And that was in the Mount Graham area?
Yes.
Interesting.
I heard about it from Mr. Ballin. He tells stories online.
Mm-hmm.
He's a YouTuber, but yeah, I was like, oh man, I lived at the base of that mountain back in 2004.
You actually lived that close. Wow.
Oh yeah, I've hiked up and down that mountain many times.
So Fort Grant, it looks like near there, Safford, Cactus Flat. Okay, so lots of little kind of desert towns surrounding it, pretty much is what it is?
Yeah.
Or? Okay.
I lived in Pima, Arizona, and that's right there at the base of Mount Graham.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, there's a lot of speculation about a lot of stuff out there. It's mind-boggling.
Yeah,
some
yeah.
of the stuff you come from.
I'm fascinated with some of those stories. Not fascinated with people falling off cliffs and not being found, but just these types of stories and what the significance is of these areas, because some of these areas, these are some of the more kind of weird phenomenons that have happened in the States are in these kind of small desert towns. You've got the Phoenix Lights. What are those, right? I mean, people have mixed feelings about all of these stories, but no, I appreciate you calling and sharing that. So your theory, if you had to guess with Kenny, do you have any specific theory, or do you just think there's some bigger thing kind of going on and do you have any theories, I guess is what I'm getting at?
I think that he found what he was looking for.
Oh.
What that might be, I don't know.
Okay.
He was on a mission to find something, and he found it.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
But thank you for your entertainment, and I do enjoy the live streams, and I'll be a continuing sub. So.
Oh, thanks so much. And yeah, thanks for taking the time to call in. I appreciate it.
Yep. Have a good day,
yeah,
sir.
You as well. Thanks. Bye. I didn't catch his name. He mentioned the name when he called in, but thanks so much for calling. Interesting the way he worded that. That's arguably one of the more interesting responses. It's Kenny maybe found what he was looking for. Interesting. So a couple things happened there. Real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for Femme Fatal. I'm so sorry for butchering that. For upgrading to the second tier. Really, really appreciate that. What else are people saying here? Thanks again for the call. Raindrops giving a little interesting. S-balls. Oh, was that S-balls? Okay. Could be some sort of artificial fault line made by mining that caused a sinkhole. Interesting. Mimi with the little eyepiece. Interesting. Mr. Ballin is awesome. He just did an alien video the other day that was very believable. I'm so interested in this stuff, you guys. I think I'm more interested in this than I'd like to believe. Is just bigger picture things that we don't know anything about. S-balls. I appreciate you censoring yourself on the thing. I was wondering if that's what you said. Thanks for calling in. Did they find that little girl they were thawing the yard out yesterday? Jay's thoughts: no, they did not yet. Harmony Montgomery has still not been found. To my knowledge, they're still looking. What is everyone else saying? I can't believe they have these shafts open like that either. I never saw one in Arizona. Yeah, there. It seems like in that area were several, so definitely it's dangerous to go kind of hiking around looking for the guy. That's for sure. All right, let's see. I think he fell in a shaft or went back and killed himself. Sad story. Just reading through all of your guys' comments. I knew it, Mr. Spitballs. Thank you. Very fascinating. well, paranormal / conspiracy YouTube, which is one of my favorites. I don't know if I'm going to turn into a paranormal. Why can't I say that word? I definitely don't want to be like conspiracy YouTube. I kind of want to follow stories that are obviously rooted in just like truth. But some of these are interesting. We have another caller.
Call from.
You at Mr.
Lisa.
Thank you.
Okay. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Lisa, how's it going?
Paranormal.
You can hear me?
I can, yeah. Thanks for calling in.
Am I wrong? Oh, okay. Stuff like this drives me crazy, but the woman's name, it's femme fatale. And the femme fatale, those characters, they have characters in movies. They're usually mysterious, sultry women, the kind of women that might play a spy character. The character in the movie would be a spy, a female spy, but it's femme fatale.
Okay.
And I'm not trying, stuff like that drives me nuts, so I'm not trying to, like, tell you, like, you know what I'm saying. I'm not trying to be... Yes. Yeah, I'm just, that kind of stuff drives me nuts. But anyway, as far as aliens, I don't know what I believe in that stuff. I really don't believe in ghosts and aliens and stuff. But scientifically, scientists have seen some really strange stuff that they can't explain. Like things running under or between planets that they picked up on, that it's really odd, and they think it's a possibility. They don't know. So I don't personally believe in any of that stuff, but I'm saying, it's a possibility. As far as the case, Mr. Veach, I don't really know a lot about it. I don't have any opinion about it at all, because there's not enough, with it being that remote. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, it's...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it is so remote. I mean, that's just one of the things. It's like, we look at some of the other cases this year where, like, I don't know if you follow the Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito case, for example, but it's like they were looking in a small, like a big reserve right next to the city, and they still took so long to find him. This is clearly, I mean, it's near Las Vegas. There's cities near there, but it's so remote. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I'm going to get off because I know you want to keep the calls.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, no worries. I mean, this has only been like 2.5 minutes at this point, but yeah, I appreciate you calling. Yeah. Do you have anything else? Do you have any theories then about what you think happened? I know you said you don't really have probably too many, but.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion because honestly, there's really nothing to go on.
Right.
I mean, he just disappeared. That was it. And anything else, I don't even conjecture about stuff like that because I don't have enough information. I did follow Brian Laundrie and Gabby Petito case because there was a lot in that. That was big news for quite a while. But yeah, in a case like this, when you have nothing to work with, there's nothing to work with. Yeah. So I have no opinion about it. But I really appreciate everything, all of your videos, and you're such a genuine person, which is why I follow you. I've unsubscribed. I've unsubscribed from a lot of podcasts because they're not very nice, and you're super. Anyway, that was it.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for taking my call. I'll let you go. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Yeah, have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Right, bye. Oh, super sweet. Thanks for calling in. Thanks so much. Kenny works at the theater at the Venetian Hotel. Interesting. Let's see. Corinna says, now the poll worked. Okay. Glad the poll worked. Thank you. Let's see. Femme fatale. I've been hooked on the Chandler Halderson case this past week or so. It's a doozy. That one is a doozy. I've been watching that, following along with that as well. All right.
Call from.
Oh, first one?
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you, Aaron?
Good.
It's going well. Happy New Year's.
Yes, Happy New Year to you as well.
I have a little statement to make.
Okay.
I always think that it's very almost cocky of us to think that that only we exist as a species. You know, there are still species to be discovered underwater.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think that I do believe in little extra things here and there, not everything.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the woods searching for Bigfoot.
Right.
But yeah, I do believe that there's supernatural things up there, you know.
Yeah.
I went on a hiking trip one time, and it was with a bunch of people. And I do recall that I'm always the last one in the line, always the last one trekking and out of breath. But then I get like my second win, and I'm the first one to want to get out of there. I need to go eat. I need to, get this day over with. So I always like to run ahead after a good hike. And I do remember separating from the group and leaving them far behind, and I thought I remembered the trail. Got a little off trail, and everything went silent in the woods. Like I could hear them speaking, like, because there was a bunch of chatty people. But then all of a sudden, just abruptly, like I entered into a separate place, a separate realm, I felt.
Yeah.
And it just raised the hair on my back and on my arms, and I like stopped because I was running. And I stopped and I said, let me just backtrack and get out of this. I don't know what this is. And I did get out, backtracked and went back, and then stayed with the group the whole entire time. And I didn't talk about it because I was super embarrassed.
Oh, wow.
But I do believe, like, what was that?
Yeah.
I started doing research to try to figure out, what is this? What could possibly have been that caused the birds and everything just to immediately and abruptly, in the middle of the day? It was only like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock maybe. Just go dead silent in the middle of the woods. And I ran into somebody else's podcast. I don't know if you know him, David Politis. He's a retired detective. And he talks about little mysterious things. But once I started Googling about what was that silence, then I got deeply into listening into his podcast that, there are, dead spaces out there. So I'm thinking that's what might have happened to Vici, that, he might have, like the previous caller said, he might have found what he was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting the way he worded that, for sure. But yeah, some people are definitely commenting to what you're saying in the chat, and I appreciate you calling in. What was your name again? I didn't catch it at the beginning.
Oh, first one.
Oh, this is first one. Okay, I was going to say you've called again. You've called before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
Thank you for giving me this little bit of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for sharing your story.
Oh, and I wish I'd not missed the podcast from yesterday. I mean, your live from yesterday. I caught it last night, and I was, oh my God.
That story.
That
that's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. I'll continue following that, obviously, because I've started, and I think, like I was saying in the live stream, I think that's probably going to be a quick one, maybe, just since they have 2 arrests that are linked to her. But it's a hard one to follow, for sure. It's just so sad.
Yeah, and I'm not a fan of anyone in that family. I know that drug abuse does things to you, but and oh my God, just give me like a bunch of weapons and let me get just some time with the father.
Oh man, yeah.
And the mom and the uncle. To me, they all look like they're all. You know what I mean?
Doesn't
like
look good,
he even has like an open GoFundMe, and I'm like, I would be crazy to send any money.
Oh wow.
People look all strung out. God forgive me, but this is what I see.
Yeah.
They
No, I mean
all do.
yeah.
That poor child.
That
like,
poor
what
child,
was she
yeah.
born into?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Well, thanks,
Take
first one.
care.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Thanks so much for calling. Joyce Smith, search on YouTube how to join YouTube memberships on mobile. Oh, is Joyce? I must have missed something. Joyce, memberships. Yeah, memberships should just be right down here next to the subscribe button. But if you're on mobile, I'm not entirely sure how it works. Sometimes I think on iPhone they can make it pretty confusing to find. But I'm going to be wrapping this up here soon. I think I'll take one more call if someone wants to call in, and then I'll slowly wrap things up. Real quick, though, guys. Andrew Gosden, which if you've been following my channel, they just arrested 2 men for trafficking and kidnapping. 2 men have been arrested in connection with the disappearance of a teenager who went missing 15 years ago. I covered this story in a video, not a live stream, but a video that came out, I think, New Year's Day, the day after New Year's Day, I think, on the 2nd. And oddly enough, they just had a huge breakthrough in the case, and they think that these 2 men that they arrested have something to do with the 15-year-old that went missing in 2007. This is the last known photo of Andrew Gosden. So if you guys haven't seen that story, hopefully these arrests that have been made are leading or will lead to some answers in that story. But I figured I'd mention that. So feel free, anyone who wants to call in. We're wrapping things up here. I want to say thanks again to all the people who have joined as members. Thank you guys so much. And to those who are just still here hanging out, thank you guys. Let's get 10 more likes. Let's hit 200 likes before we go. That would be awesome. But yeah, thanks for being here. It was just a very chill stream. I know that we don't always get into some of these topics that are a little more, I feel like sometimes when you're talking about like aliens or energy and these things, there's this crossover that happens with like religion, and I think it can get kind of not messy, but I don't think it always has to be like that. I mean, some people are very much like, we're not talking about this. This is against what I believe, but I think it's interesting to talk about some of these things, and it's not for everyone, and I get that. So if it wasn't your thing today, we're not going to always be talking about this. Also, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We are close to 1,600, or we're close to 16,600, which is cool. Let's read some chat. Can usually only message with link to click. iPhone doesn't always give you join button. Raindrops. I copied this from Femme Fatale. Go to channel. Oh, I thought we're doing one more call. One more call. This is it. I thought I closed out.
Call from
Wendy.
It's Wendy.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, Wendy, how's it going?
Hey, this is actually the first time I've ever called into any podcast. But nice. I actually started following you with the Gabby Petito case, and your style is so different. It's so much better. You're analytical, and you look at maps and you tie the different points together from your seat wherever you're at. You're in Washington State, so am I actually. But you bring more information than just people that are just talking about it. I want to tell you how much I appreciate it. And then I had never heard of. I'm super into unsolved mysteries and everything like that. But yeah, I had never heard of Kenny Veach until I heard it on your stream because I subscribed.
Just today you heard about it, or did you see the videos that I posted?
I've been watching the videos.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So,
nice.
And then because of you, I learned about Aquachigger, and I'm actually a metal detectorist. I love looking for history.
Oh, wow. He's a great channel to follow then for that, because, yeah, I was unaware of him as well. He's like a really solid channel with tons of really good content around metal detecting, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
There is I think you can find most of them on YouTube. It's through the History Channel. There's a show called The Curse of Civil War Gold. And it's up in Michigan, Muskegon, Michigan, and I have been following it, and I do exactly what you do, looking at the maps where everything is. Everything else, I've just deep dived into it just like you do. So
nice.
There's a lot of things out there that, we just have no idea that's going on, and they're right in front of us.
Right,
I just want to say I don't have a theory of what happened to him, except with Kenny Veach, I don't think he unalived himself. I'll say it that way because I heard your YouTube channel. I believe that something happened to him. He could have gotten bit by a snake. There's so much danger out there, but I don't think he caused his demise.
Okay.
he was very into seeing how long he could stay alive. He was pushing himself to the limits. He was doing it so that if he were in a situation, he would know how to handle it. He was very intent on living.
Yeah.
I know his ex-girlfriend said he talked about that. I'm wondering if maybe when he talked about it, it was in the heat of the moment with being really upset about his dad unaliving himself.
Yeah.
And he said, if I ever do that, you know, no one will find me. Because he was mad at his dad for letting him see it.
Right.
So
yeah.
I don't think that really has a lot to play into this.
Okay. Yeah, that's
my
an interesting
opinion.
take. Yeah, for sure.
Because I think he was fighting for survival all the time. He was a survivalist. People like that don't unalive themselves.
Did you watch his videos of his like submissions to the Shark Tank show or anything like that? He had such a spark for life, it seemed like. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. And-
was he an engineer of some sort?
I'm not entirely sure. I want to say you might be right on that, but and once again, I don't want to say that people haven't done things like that don't seem like completely fine, but yeah, he just didn't seem. Yeah, it just didn't seem like that. I think. Yeah, I agree with you there. So, yeah, it's hard to say.
Yeah, we never want to minimize that. The mental illness is real, and it needs to be treated just the way the flu does. So, absolutely.
Sure. It's definitely no less of a mystery for sure, though.
It's not. I do have one thought about. I don't know if you're going to allow it because it's not the case, but Gabby Petito that I'd love to share with you.
Sure. I mean, we're wrapping things up at this point now. We've we're just kind of chatting today, you know. So it's
okay.
We're good. Yeah. Anything and everything that you've got there, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. So I have watched. I mean, I think it was nearing obsession at one point. I just had to know, and I was watching everything. Brian Enton, the WFLA station, Grizzly, you, Tyler Feller, stopping just short of Popcorn Planet, not my favorite. But, you know, I was watching everything all the time.
Yeah.
And something that, you know, I and my husband both thought of right at the very beginning was people are so focused that Brian killed her.
Yeah.
Then what if everyone is missing this? What if there is a serial killer, right, that's out there? And it's taking so much focus off of them. And it shouldn't be, because social media could help solve the serial killer case.
Yeah.
But social media was only focused on Brian.
Right, yeah.
So if you look at the details and just do a brief play-by-play, which you did really well, it was partially the reason I came up with this theory. If you look at, he flew back home. When he came back, they were at that restaurant, right? The Piggle Wiggle something.
Oh, yeah, the Mary Piglet. Yeah, when he got back to Utah, yeah.
Yep, they were there, and they were seen having a fight. I think they broke up then.
Okay.
I think that they broke up. And I think that Gabby was saying she needed some time apart, because that was a big deal for them. They wanted to take space from each other. You heard it in there. And their mom talked about it. His sister talked about it. They like to take space. So, I think that she wanted time apart. I think she left him there, and I think she drove back down to the last campsite they were at by herself. It was not that far away, according to your map thing, where her van was found from that restaurant. So I think she may have just driven down and stopped where she felt she could, right on the side of the road.
Yeah.
And I think that she told him where she was going to be, and said, "You can, when you get down to me, we'll talk." Let him hike down, because she knew he could hike.
Yeah.
So, and that would give them space.
Right.
And so I have been wondering this entire time, total conjecture, just an idea. You can cut me off if I've taken too much time also. I don't want to take all your time.
You're good. You're good.
I think that he may have walked in and witnessed when he got back to the van. I think that's why he wanted to get back to the van so much. He was wanting to talk with her. And he was anxious to try to fix things. He didn't want to break up.
Right.
So when he got back to the van, I think one of two things could have happened. One, he walked into a scene where she was being murdered and then fled, you know, once, so that and then the murderer tracked him through social media and everything else, and then also got him.
Interesting. Okay. That was going to be my next question is, well, what happened to him then? Okay. So you're kind of in this, and you're not the only one. I've heard the theories about people thinking that they were both killed by somebody separate. He had nothing to do with her death, kind of thing. It's very obviously controversial because people are like, no, the signs are there for that. But once again, open to all. I mean, you have to be open to all theories at this point. They haven't really even released much, right? So.
Right. I think that if that is the case, then whoever did that to Gabby and Brian also did that to the two women. The FBI files came out that all three women, Gabby and the other two women, were all only wearing shirts. They had nothing else on from the waist down. And that's pretty odd that it's all three exactly the same, and they were within miles of each other when they were found. In a town where there hasn't been any other murders. And Brian, from everyone talking about him, all the personal people that they've talked to, no one said he had any sort of, he was never looking at other girls. He was never sexually aggressive, things like that. So it just doesn't seem like him that he would have done anything like that with the girls or to Gabby.
There's several comments coming through saying, well, if he fled in the van, withdrew her money, called his mom, but not the police. That is the one conflicting thing there, is not notifying anyone else.
I heard, I can talk to that because I actually heard he was a retired U.S. Marshal, I believe. I think he was on Tyler Keller's show. I heard him talking about the fact that he believes Brian had something like Asperger's or something, and the only thing he could think to do was to call his mother. And so he just couldn't process it.
Gotcha.
And so the other theory I have, completely different, is that Brian came back. Gabby wasn't there. He was so angry that she left the van, thinking that her friend had picked her up like they had talked about doing, just in the next town. He was so angry because she had said she was leaving him, and then she just left the van, that he just didn't bother to look for her, didn't know she was gone, and just took the van and drove home.
That's
just really angry. Her debit card could have been in the van. He could have used it. End of story.
Right.
The last theory is that for whatever reason, maybe they thought they were going to get exposed through Brian if he was questioned, anything else, is his parents could have actually done away with him. It's very odd, but...
Yeah, I've definitely heard that one as well.
And the reason to think about that is, you know, that huge deal with that garden bed in their backyard.
Yeah.
Which was crazy with the underground bunker thing. I'm not all about that. But I've been wondering if it's possible, if they did have his body, if it needed to decompose before they could transfer it anywhere, is it possible that they put it in the garden bed to decompose, and then they were checking it when they were out there and they got caught by that drone poking around in the garden bed? And then when it finally had, because if you look at the time period when they finally found the bones in the reserve, it had had time to decompose if they had, you know, sped up the process of chemicals or anything else in that dirt. So if they did that, then the parents were seen mailing a box, right, buddy, the day before, and then the remains show up in the park, and then his dad walks right to it.
Yeah.
They also, this retired U.S. Marshal on that show that I was watching, said that the way the bullet was, way this all worked, like he had to have been murdered, which was something that was really interesting that the FBI aren't talking about. And he says the FBI aren't talking about it because they're investigating it. They're letting people think that it's done. So I really have those theories, and none of them involve Brian being the one to kill her.
Okay.
So it's very odd.
Well, yeah. And thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. And you've definitely got some people in the comments. Some are agreeing, some are definitely not, but that's just that's the way it is with all these cases. Everyone has kind of their own opinion about it, but thanks for sharing.
I'll have to check it out. I had to turn it off because of the interference.
Oh, so. Yeah. No worries. But thanks again.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call.
For sure. Thanks again. Talk soon.
Thank you for all you do. All right, bye.
Yeah, bye. All All right. Thanks for calling, Wendy. So a lot of things going on in the chat here. I wanted to mention, let's see, someone, I think Cotton Farmer said something about me in defense of me, and I appreciate that, Cotton Farmer. I'm not sure what kind of comments are coming through. Spain is definitely just trolling. I've definitely addressed mental illness, mental health on the chat before. You are clearly new to the channel. But thank you to the people that are here, that have been here in the past, and that continue to come to these live streams. I know, like I said, this has been kind of a different one. I'm closing out the Google Voice number, so that is done. Thanks to the people who contributed to the calls. I'm going to go ahead and see what everyone's saying real quick, and then we'll wind down and end the stream. I kind of want to see what some people were saying during that call. But wouldn't his mom have then called the police? If so, said mom, someone was killing Gabby. Yeah, I don't know. Look, that's a controversial opinion, but a lot of people have kind of started to think, well, what if it was, someone else that had something to do with it? I think it's a little bit of a stretch not calling the police, driving all the way across the country. But you never know. Let's see. Spain. No one wants a photo of Kenny, and they're not going to pay you for the photo. Cheryl says, maybe I'll call one day. Thank you. Raindrops. Aaron's live chats are the best. Thank you. I like conspiracy theories, but this is a shade too far for me. Raindrops, he tossed that snake. He did toss the snake, yeah. That was a reverse meth op sitting. That went bad. The case is not so unique, except Brian's parents running cover. Yeah, I wonder what the Brian Laundrie case would have been like if the parents immediately spoke up, right? Even if they didn't know, if they claimed ignorance to the whole thing, would people have been as mad? I think really what set people off is just their silence. Daniel Tribley says, just got in. Well, we are just wrapping up, Daniel, and it was kind of just all over the place stream. We went over some of the Kenny Veach story. It was fun. Just a little bit different stream than normal. We have some back and forth in the comments right now. I'm just kind of going through. Panda B, yes, they are. Anyone considering being a CI fake blogger needs to remember that they are disposable. Let's see. Can someone tell me what other two women she means? Lorem, she was referring to the two people that the two people that were killed in the LaSalle Mountains outside of Moab, Crystal and Kylan, the couple that was killed around the same time that the Gabby Petito and Brian Laundrie case was happening. JTube, welcome to the club. Welcome to the Level 1 Supporter Club. JTube, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Really appreciate that. Welcome. You can now use the wonderful emotes that were designed by the wonderful Juice from the Box. Also saw some people giving some love to Alicia in the chat. Alicia stays busy in some of these chats, sometimes helping to moderate and keep some comments at bay. And so Alicia doesn't get enough love. So thanks to Alicia for being here. Everyone give some love to Alicia in the chat. This one, I think she was particularly busy in. This was a more kind of touchy subject. We covered some more touchy subjects, even though it wasn't really that touchy. But Panda B says, imagine he has some form of mental issue and only thought to call his mom and dad. I'd think that his parents would be like, okay, son, calm down and let's call the police, right? Yeah, that's a good point too, Panda. Let's see. Hi, JTube. JTube, hey Aaron Mull, I've joined the club. Good on keeping issues current. Thank you. Yeah, and this isn't like a super current story, so we're going to get back to more of the current stories. But then again, some of these stories, some of these older stories are very interesting. And as we're seeing with the Andrew Gosden story, we've got some new information breaking today. 2 people arrested, potentially in connection with Andrew Gosden. I mean, that's pretty interesting. And that's a 15-year-old case. So it definitely doesn't hurt to go through some of these old cases and look into them a bit more. Mulling Maps brought me here. Nice folks keep me checking in. That's a good point. There's a lot of really nice people in the chat. S-Balls, thanks to Alicia. Thank you, Alicia, for helping this channel grow and succeed. Yes, thank you. And speaking of the growth of the channel, we just lost a subscriber. We went from 16,560 down, 61 down to 560. Someone is tired of the Kenny Veach story, and that's okay. Speaking of, Nella said, will this be the last video/stream of Kenny Veach? For the time being, probably, Nella. I don't know what else to talk about with Kenny Veach. I had several people reach out asking me to do this live stream. Then it's people from the initial video that I made that were intrigued and wanted me to talk about it more. And I think maybe doing this on a Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern time wasn't the best way to do it. Maybe doing it on a weekend at a more convenient time for people. It would have been, there may have been some more people in here from that initial video, but it's all good. Spain wins. I think you lost a subscriber because Alicia blocked me. She didn't block you. I just read your comment. She probably timed you out because you were spamming that you want $259, but she definitely didn't block you. So Gosden is an interesting one. It's almost like he just disappeared. It's a good example of how crimes can be obscure. Good point, Rachel. Good point. Let me quickly go to this. Yeah, my video from Andrew Gosden was just, it was uploaded January 2nd. Yeah, so this Andrew Gosden story, oddly enough, is on my channel. I just covered it, and it's now getting some new attention. So yeah, January 2nd. If you guys haven't seen it, go check this video out. Are you going to cover the Halderson case at all? That's a good question. I don't know. Possibly. I think it would be interesting to maybe look into the maps of the location of some of the different locations that are at play. I'm very, very busy with some other stuff outside of YouTube right now. But there's a possibility, Steve. There's a possibility that I will at least make a video going into the Halderson case. Okay. Anyways, that's basically it. I think I'm going to wrap it up. We're coming up on 2 hours. At the beginning of this, I was like, I'll stream for an hour. It'll be a shorter stream. And here we are almost at 2, but that's okay. That's what we do sometimes. We go on tangents. I just can't, they found CCTV on Andrew after so long, never give up hope. Exactly. That's why you need to revisit these cases for sure. Mary Lou, it's okay you came late. No worries. Yes, while you were in Canada with the loveliest wife of all. Aw. I was very anti-Brian Laundrie, but I've done a complete 180 and now believe he is innocent. Wow, first one. Interesting. All right, well, I appreciate you guys' thoughts on not only this case, but obviously we're talking about Brian Laundrie, talking about Andrew Gosden, all these different cases. If you ever want to reach me, you can direct message me on Twitter. My Twitter is linked right here down below. There's also a submission form down in the description. You can find that and actually, submit ideas, future stream ideas, future video ideas using that submission link. So feel free to reach me out through there. I check on that once or twice a week. Someone said something about this being a baby stream. I don't know where that went. Oh, Jared, 2 hours. That's just a baby of a stream. Yeah, I mean, it's not the longest. We sometimes go way beyond that. I try to keep them right around 2.5 hours, though. I feel like beyond that, you're getting into it's lengthy, but some of them you need to go into depth. So thanks for linking the submissions, Alicia. Thank you guys for being here. Appreciate it. Hit the like button on your way out, and I will see you guys in a future stream. Peace.